Hello everyone, today we'll learn the halacha of playing musical instruments on Shabbat and also making sounds of music on Shabbat. So singing obviously is allowed because we're not using any kind of instruments, but this is in the chapter that is called Tzivyon Shabbat, the way that Shabbat looks to the outside people, not necessarily forbidden melachas from Doraita, but rabbinical decrees and fences to make sure that we don't get to a biblical prohibition. So, whatever is forbidden on Shabbat is forbidden also in Yantav, except for cooking. And so, if the Talmud tells us that you're not allowed to use musical instruments on Shabbat, it would also include Yantav. So, I had a memory somehow that the splitting of the sea was on Shabbat. And I think that I'm wrong, but first of all, I want to again comment that AI and I don't exactly see eye to eye because the splitting of the sea, according to AI, described in the Torah portion of B'Shalach, is not directly associated with Shabbat. It doesn't matter if it's associated or not, but and then it says the weekly Torah reading of B'Shalach often coincides with the Shabbat. We read B'Shalach, the full parsha, only on Shabbat. We don't read it any other time. We read the splitting of the sea specifically on the seventh day of Pesach, which is Yantiv. And so in that Song of the Sea, again, it says that Miriam, the sister of Aaron, by the way, the Midrash has a beautiful idea that because she was also the sister of Moses, but because she and Aaron gave their life over to make sure that Moses was alive, that's why she's called Aaron's sister. And so she took the tof biadah, a hand drum, and mecholot. So we're not sure if mecholot is also a name of an instrument because in Psalm 150, the last psalm of Tehillim, it says betupim mecholot. So hallelu betziltzei shema betziltzei troah. Batof Machol, sorry. So Machol, translated usually now is dancing, but there is an opinion that Machol is actually a name of another instrument, so it would be forbidden if it was Yantiv. Obviously, they didn't get the Torah at that time, but just wanted to point that out. And according to the Reshit Chochmah, it was actually on Wednesday or Thursday, because the Gemara says that the first day of Rosh Chodesh Nisan was Shabbat, and so they took the sheep on the fourth day, sorry, on the 10th day, which was 4 days before, and so the first day of Pesach was Wednesday. If I sorry, the first day of Pesach was Thursday, according to that calculation. So let's learn the chapter about playing musical instruments. So the sages prohibited playing instruments on Shabbat and Yom Tov, lest the instrument break and the player fix it, thus violating Torah law. By the way, it's mostly for string instruments because you can't really fix anything else. A shofar that breaks or I don't know, a flute that breaks or a trumpet, there's no way that you can fix it on Shabbos. I mean, it will take serious work. But anyway, it includes all musical instruments. In contrast, in the temple, rabbinic Shabbat prohibitions, which what we call shvut, did not apply. Therefore, even on Shabbat and holidays, the Levites would accompany offerings with flutes, harps, lyres, trumpets, and cymbals. Included in the prohibition of playing musical instruments is the prohibition of blowing a shofar. So he's talking now about Yantiv, not about Shabbat, the first day of Rosh Hashanah being on Shabbat. We'll get to that in a second. Even on Rosh Hashanah, once the mitzvah of shofar has been fulfilled in the optimal and most beautiful fashion, meaning the person blowing the shofar can repeat the sounds until it sounds perfect or as perfect as can be, we do not blow further. Of course, if you have a group of older people who couldn't come to shul, or a group of women, or anybody else that needs to hear shofar, you're allowed to blow as many times during the day, but not for practice. Children under the age of bar mitzvah may blow the shofar all day on Rosh Hashanah so that they can learn how to do it. So this is on Rosh Hashanah that is on a weekday, as it will be this year on Tuesday and Wednesday. However, when Rosh Hashanah, the first day is Shabbat, and it's incredible to me that one of my friends asked me this morning about Sunday being a holy day in Judaism. He's not Jewish, obviously. I said that I think that what he means is that for Rosh Hashanah, because the rabbis prohibited blowing the shofar on Shabbat, the first day of Rosh Hashanah, they extended it for the whole world, including Israel. There's 2 day Yantiv of Rosh Hashanah for the whole world, doesn't matter where you are, in order to make sure that if Shabbat is the first day, then on the second day we are allowed to blow the shofar in all the shuls that we go to. So that's about shofar, and just an incredible, literally maybe an hour ago I saw the text. One may produce sound that is not musical in nature, thus one may clap his hands to wake someone up, knock on a door with his hands or an instrument, so that the people inside will hear and open it, or tap a glass or bottle with a spoon to quiet the crowd, even in shul with a big meal, whatever. One may also snap in order to wake someone up or to make a baby laugh, so snapping the fingers. And the poskim disagree whether one may use a door knocker or a mechanical bell. Some forbid it on the ground that it resembles a musical instrument too closely. Others permit it since one is not trying to make music, especially since it's not your door that you're doing this. And also, if it's been there for so many years, it doesn't break that easily, and so you're not going to fix it, especially again if it's not your door. If during the week an electric doorbell is used, then on Shabbat a mechanical doorbell or knocker may be used instead. And so some people put like a tape on it, or a little piece of paper saying, please do not use this on Shabbat, because not everybody knows this. One may place a decorative crown with bells on a Torah scroll, even though the bells produce sound. Since they are decorative and honor the Torah, it is for the sake of a mitzvah, and since the person carrying the Torah does not intend to make music or noise, it is not forbidden. So again, that's from the Achronim, from the Shach, Magen Avraham, and the Taz actually forbids it, but 2 against 1 is always a majority. Some forbid opening a door that has bells or chimes attached to it, since they are considered musical instruments. We're not talking about electrical sounds like some restaurants and stores have, but we're talking about just chimes or a bell that will ring. Others permit it because those entering do not intend to make noise, they just want to open the door. The Chatchila, it is proper for homeowners to remove bells from the door before Shabbat. If they did not do so, the door still may be used on Shabbat. And so I guess if you're going to an unfamiliar place for the first time and you hear the doorbell, you don't have to worry about that. When we actually do turn on our alarm in the shul on Shabbat, and so when I come in the morning, it makes a very loud noise to tell me that the alarm is set, and then turn it off. So same thing. One may whistle on Shabbat because it is considered a type of music made with the mouth, not with an instrument. Some even permit using one's fingers to improve the whistle. Those are all kinds of stuff like that. And of course, the Shema Shabbat says that you're even allowed to whistle a tune, even if you're an adult. I know that a lot of people don't, but Shemirat Shabbat Chata, Rav Neuvert is pretty good authority to rely on for that. And we will stop here and open up for questions.